Okay, so in this video we are going to be tackling the mountain falls, the water temple, and we're going to be defending one of the shrines of light at the end. We will also be rescuing two elemental warriors. One of them you will have seen before, one of them you won't. And in the water temple we're going to try and rescue Aunt Lenya, who then will give you an elemental warrior at the end. So enjoy!
That's Major Ruin, and he's just what we need to get around this rocky landscape.
How could they leave
Chase
me
down
like
the
this?
Shadow Troll and destroy it.
I'm also going to try and sort of find various fruits where I can. At the moment I'm just sort of gathering some extra coins to spend in the shop, so you can always lift up these heli plant things. So here we've got what are called water trolls. You can't take them on until you've got deep blue, which is one of the elemental warriors we're going to be rescuing. So hence why I've sort of walked in and walked straight back out again, because he's the only one that can tackle them, annoyingly. But it helps to go in every house that you can, sort of talk to everyone.
Under certain circumstances,
More often than
trolls
not,
can heal themselves.
you tend to find
For
that
example, a plant troll
you'll have some
sprayed
kind of
with
quest
water, or an
waiting
ice
for you.
troll in freezing wind.
Ironically, I think this is the only house that it doesn't.
I am indeed the
You can
renowned.
basically pay him for scrolls, and he sort of gives you sort of very cryptic advices. It's normally about like fruits, that kind of thing. So here you go, I'll pay some money for one of them. So he basically says you need to explode the stone chests and you'll get either fruit or a lot of money. Magical signpost, that's sort of the hidden fruit quest, which I will do later. But he basically just sort of gives you slightly nonsensical advice. But annoyingly, each scroll does get more expensive, so that's why I sort of stopped there.
Attaboy! I can't talk.
Just sort of checking that I've not missed any coins or anything. There's an elemental fruit up in the trees there, I believe, but you can't access it without Chiller. And obviously I don't have Chiller back yet. There's some fruit up there, I'll just go grab that.
All those other guys around here.
So here's sort of their version of the shop. Always try and buy as many elemental fruit and elixir of life as you can afford. I think you're limited to 1 elixir of life and 2 fruits, off the top of my head. And again, when you get sort of the right amount of money, make sure you upgrade the money pouch. In Mountain Falls there is a treasure cave, which does have quite a bit of money in it, to be fair, as well as fruit and a side quest. But I will be tackling that once I've got the 2 elemental warriors sort of towards the end of the level. Oh, there you go, there's a fruit under there. with the fruits, if you buy their fruit finder newsletter, it sort of gives you hints as to where the fruits are, but that's just me working from memory. For those big starfish there, basically all around the map there are there's 3 pearls that need to be collected and basically returned to those starfish, but you can't do that without the elemental warrior that we haven't yet rescued. So that will come after Major Urn, and that one's called Deep Blue. So yeah, I just have to make sure that I blow up the fruit when he's near it, and then if I sort of wait with Rubble, he will then collect sort of the fallen rocks and we can take them back up the bridge, and once you sort of sit on the platform, that will then basically put them back to where they came from.
I think I have an idea.
Your warriors really helped us out. Now we'll be able to get into the cave again.
This is the Shrine of Light, our famous monument. It can, or at least it could have been seen for miles around. But now, the torches, it's too upsetting.
Basically what's happened here is all the torches have gone out, so sort of you see where they've got those blue flames or gas coming out, that means that you can light them with ash. So if you use his, I think it's the wildfire move, it's called Fire Blast at the moment because I've not upgraded it to wildfire. The difference is that Fire Blast is sort of 1 ball of fire, whereas Wildfire is 3 balls, which is very helpful when you get to sort of getting to the point where you rescue Deep Blue. So I will upgrade him before that. But yeah, you just basically have to walk around both the inside and outside of the shrine, sort of light all his torches, and he will then give you an elemental fruit, which you can use to then upgrade your various moves. Keep having a look around, make sure that you've got everything. So you can sort of see there's some in here that haven't been looked as well. Oh, there's a nice elixir of life there. That one you sort of have to aim to make sure it goes up the other wall. So I don't think you can get to it without aiming from this really annoying angle. Okay, just quickly drink the elixir. Still missing one, so there you go, there's the last one. So I need to turn back to Ash and light that one up, and he should then give me a fruit. She says. Still missing one. So just have a quick look around the outside. Sometimes you have to go in through both entrances to sort of see what you're missing. So there you go, I couldn't see that from the angle I was at before. And 1 fruit.
Mercy me! This is all I have to offer, apart from my undying gratitude. Thank you so much. I hope you'll help others too.
Fruit here, and those magical signpost quests that sort of result in another fruit. One of those signs is back here, so we'll come back here later. can't get over that ledge without major ruin, annoyingly. So I will come back to that. So much like the shrine, the dragons have all got the little blue gassy things coming out of them, which means I need to light them. And sort of once those have all been lit, that should then open up the shadow
First,
troll.
the weapons
Well,
of the past, the torch that casts their glow. Then towards
so these
the
are
ancient
the
sailor's anchor you
sort of
must
clues,
go.
because you've got to do them in a
Third,
certain
the
order.
single candle that was placed to light the cave. Last, the
will explain this
bones
bit in a
of
bit.
someone who is resting in their grave.
So that's sort of a fairly obvious one. You do weapons first. He always confuses me when he says the torch that casts a glow. You just ignore that bit, it's just him rambling. So you go to the one with the weapons first. And if you accidentally light one that's not in the right order, then all the torches go out and you have to start again, which is really annoying. I think it's first the weapons of the past, then it's to the sailor's anchor, isn't it? So there you go, number 2. The final one is the one of the bones in the grave, so that's not just yet. And there's your light. You need to sort of light up this one. And finally the bones. There we go. And I think once you get Major Ruin, one of those cages with the lobsters inside contains an elemental fruit. But I will have a look after I've rescued Major Ruin. This one you have to make sure that you avoid his sort of mini earthquakes that he creates, because if he sort of sets off one of those whilst you're running around with one of the skeleton things on you, then it sort of basically makes you drop it and you have to start again, which is really annoying. So sort of I think for this one you have to watch out for the earthquakes, and every now and again he'll throw bats at you, sort of like a stream of them, so just make sure you get out of the way if he does that. Sort of thing falling around on the floor, just make sure you're not too far in the way, otherwise this happens. And it's the same as with the sort of light skeleton things, you just keep wiggling your left trigger until he lets you go. And I got him just as he was doing an earthquake move. And there is Major Ruin, who you would have recognised from the very first level.
Major Ruin. Major Ruin.
With Major Ruin, it's worth upgrading as much of him as you can, just because you do end up using him quite a lot to get over various paths and obstacles, etc. I personally don't think there's much difference between Cyclone Spin and Hypercyclone Spin, so it's not worth upgrading at this point when you're still sort of saving food for the rest of the Elemental Warriors. But sort of by the end of the game you'll have an excess, so you can upgrade them then if you want. And I've just sort of shown you his alternate skins there. I'm just going to smash into all these crates because I'm certain one of these has got a fruit in it. If you're lucky enough to have one of the explosive plant things near a stone chest, do light it. The only other thing that can destroy it is thermite, and you don't get him till right at the end of the game. And every now and again you do get a fruit in a chest, not this one annoyingly, but... So I'll show you how to do that again. So I think the next one of these has got a fruit in it. There we go. Just for completeness, I'll block this chest as well.
Shush! The lobsters will hear us.
I always hated the exit to this cave because it's like in a really tiny corner. I think the first time I played this game I did actually get lost, which is just ridiculous. So this is now showing you the next Shadow Troll, so it does put deep blue in there. And you've got to go up this really annoying sort of mountain path thing. And it does take a while to get to him, so you do have to sort of do a few tricks as you're going up. I'm not sure if there's a fruit around that bit, and I've just been knocked off by a rock tie, so that's really annoying. But yeah, when you do the sort of path to go and get deep blue, it does take a while. And you do have to fight quite a few trolls on the way as well, which is pretty annoying. So I think that's mostly why this video is sort of a bit longer than the others, is there's sort of so many extra quests in Mountain Falls, weirdly.
Stop following me!
Up another stone chest, it's always worth it. I won't always have fruit or something, but it might have some coins, so. this one should have some fruit in it. Hey!
Hey,
So back to before the rock type chucked me off. I'm going to go around him a little more carefully this time. Feeling. Oh, there you go. So this is where your mystery signs start. Just telling you to search near where the pearl guy is, so with the starfish. And on this one, I think if I go up this edge a bit, it should be up here. Yep, there we go. And this is what I think. This is what we've got to go back to the Shrine of Light. So sort of around the back up there. So that's where we sort of lit all the torches for sort of the old man who gave us some fruit. Got any more money for some supplies?
All those other guys are.
A quick check. Oh, there we go. Managed to buy all the
You can't
extras.
afford this. You can't afford this.
Don't quite have enough for the new purse, annoyingly.
Make sure to report any trouble.
A sucker born every minute.
How could they be?
Right, so the index sign should be just around here. Ah, there it is.
Sound feels good.
Send wise old to that squibble shop. You remember the guy who you basically pay for scrolls? If I'm being honest, he rips you off, but you know,
Weather's great.
sort of way back to the where you began the level, sort of near the Badlands entrance. Right, so after going in the wrong house, squibble shop, that's the right one. I think it's up that ledge where we found a fruit from before, I think. Yeah, I can see it up there, just trying to climb it. was in a really weird spot. I can't really explain it, so I'll just show you. I'm just collecting these because I think I'm going to need these to sort of jump over a gap, so these will create like a little shelf for me to dash over with Major Rowan, which I think will then lead me to a fruit on a stalk. Yeah, sort of where I've just sort of looked to the left over there. That's basically going to help me climb over that.
Okay.
If you need to deposit something with Major Rowan, always go on sort of those little platforms and it'll just do automatically for you. See, now he's formed a shelf, I can use Major Rowan to dash over it onto the next shelf, and sort of you can see in the distance the elemental fruit. So whilst I'm here, I'll sort of see if there's any coins. I'll read the sign. Once I've got some more coins. There you go, we've won the game, so we get an extra fruit there. And I just need to dash over the next bit. So you have to rush up the wall with Major Rowan. There's no point trying to do a hop and dash, it just doesn't work. And there's an extra fruit for you. See if I can afford anything. Nah, it doesn't look like it, that's quite annoying. Right, so this will lead me up to the mountain pass, I believe it's called, which is that really annoying sort of bit where you have to battle all the trolls on the way to the shadow troll well for Deep Blue. So this bit does take quite a while, annoyingly. I always thought the cave were really eerie. Basically it gives you a nice little cutscene where you have to go all the way up there. And there's quite a few trolls on the way.
There, that's Deep Blue. And if you rescue
If you can, you have to basically fight all the trolls and light all the torches. And basically you have to light 3 torches, and each time you light 3 torches it will open one of those doors that's just shut in front of you. So if you see that troll there, if you do a what's the one called with that, where it's sort of the long shot? Fire blast, that's the one. If you do that at the troll, it will sort of travel up his podium where he's shooting you from, and there's normally like some dynamite or gunpowder or something up there, and then it sort of blows up, so that basically will stop them shooting you. So I realised that I actually needed the wildfire move for Ash, where you get the 3 balls of flames instead of 1. It's a lot easier. There you go, quick demo. These guys are quite easy to kill, just because they're plant based, so if you've got Ash, just set them on fire quickly and just leave them to it. So he's shooting me, but after a wildfire move at him, those nice 3 balls, and there you go, he's gone. I've basically got to go across here with a combination of Major Ruin and Ash mostly. Sort of destroying trolls, podiums, and sort of most importantly is you've got to light the sort of little dragon flame things, sort of like I was showing you before, which will then open up the doors. So this is the last flame here, so that should open up that door right at the beginning, which will then take you on to the next part of the mountain rise. And maybe there's 2 or 3 sort of doors that you have to do this with, and then sort of right at the end there's sort of an annoying big rock troll that you basically have to pull out with the explosive round plant things. But sort of I'll go over that more when we get to it. Here is that rock troll guy that I mentioned. He'll sort of start pulling himself together, which is quite annoying. Sort of in a tiny little fence bit, you'll see one of those explosive plants, and you can basically dislodge them with Major and then set fire to them with Ash's Inferno move. So he'll sort of try and charge at you every now and again and throw rocks. So you just want to sort of release this as quickly as you can. If I'm lucky, I'll get him to charge at me, and then he'll just sort of run straight into it. Oh, I can just stay there. There we go, easy peasy. You don't even need rubble, so that's quite handy. And then you just use Major Ruin to dash up it. You've always got to be on the lookout for these dragon things, because it is so annoying if you've missed one and you get sort of to the end where the door is and then you've got to go all the way back. I mean, if you're sort of following this guide as you're playing, you won't have to do that because I've sort of done the work for you. It does help that I've played this game quite a few times. So, got the next bit. Throwing a quick wildfire move at him. The last troll. There you go. And now move on to the next bit. If you sort of got enough space, you can pull the Incinerator move, which is what I've tried to do there. And basically you tap both left and right triggers together, and then you tap them again. But you need to have some space around you, because if you're being hit, then, as you saw with mine, it just doesn't work. I mean by the sort of a lot of dashing up and sort of around the mountain. This is definitely the most work I think you have to do for one of the shadow trolls, annoyingly. So with these guys, much like the rock ones, you sort of just need them near an explosive and that basically kills them. I think you can kill them with rubble, but it's easier to just light up some dynamite from a nice safe distance, of course. If you're too close, then obviously you just end up blowing yourself up. Yeah, so there is one of the dragon torches I want to light. Again, it's important not to miss any of these because it's so painful if you've got to come back. I'll try not to fall off the edge there. Rock falling off has given me a bit of a kicking. So I'll quickly engage the Eye of Restoration and that will sort of help my health build back up. It is annoying because those rocks just come from nowhere. Especially when you're trying to like fight trolls or like the beacon things yourself. Annoyingly, that did not reach the dynamite I needed. I'm trying to dispatch with him whilst I'm dealing with this. So if you hold your two triggers together and point at him, that will then do sort of be like a flurry of rocks in his direction. I think sort of doing that around twice should see him off. There you go. There's a torch down here which is really sneaky. If you didn't know where to look, you'd end up going round and round in circles for ages. Which again, on the first time I played this, I think I probably did. I have a funny feeling the final one's also stuck against a wall. So that's sort of why I'm having a look around. There it is. It's annoying. There it is. Cool. So yeah, basically each time you come through there'll be 3 torches to light, and this bit is by far the hardest. It's just that they sneak them like on those horrible bits on the mountain face, which is really mean to be honest. Grab myself a bit of extra money. Okay, that should mean I can afford the new purse now, I think. If I ever get off this mountain. So I think this is the last one of these guys that you have to battle. If you sort of launch a couple of wildfires at this thing, it should light on its own. There you go. just take the hits. As long as you keep him near the plant, it's so much easier than chasing him around and trying to blow it up. There you go, nice and easy. It takes you sort of less than a minute rather than about 10. When you think of all the trolls and sort of things you've had to jump over and climb, you're like, oh no, no one else can make it up here. And then there's just some random villagers sat by the entrance and you're like, wait, what?
Anyway, if we're going to get home, we'll need the elemental warrior in this cave. You can get it back. I just know it.
Right, there you go, she's going to lead you into the cave and she's going to tell you basically how to open up the shadow well. So she does help, to be fair. And that's how you get out afterwards. Which I don't know why I'm showing you that now, because obviously we've got to come back there after we've rescued Deep Blue. That's the usual thing, he'll disappear in there and the thing will close behind him. And see, you've got these various clues.
I remember Squibble mentioning this place. He said to start by dashing into the totem
Squibble's
furthest from
obviously
the
the old
door,
guy
and then
with the scrolls.
maybe there are clues.
So what the clues are is sort of you start from the one furthest from the door, like she suggests, and then you notice that each one has got a certain amount of skulls on it. So you start with the one that's got one skull, and then you move on to 2, 3, 4, etc. Until you've dashed into all of the totem poles, and then that will open up Deep Blue's well. One thing I did notice with this one is his attack move, so again, much like the other Shadow Trolls, but he will also summon sort of big columns of like vines to come up from the ground. So basically when you see lots of light bits popping up from the ground that don't look like the normal light trolls, move out of the way, because they basically shoot up from the ground and they can be really inconvenient. So there you go, just like that. Sort of those ones are sort of have a different pattern to them, whereas these ones, as you see, they sort of, the light looks a little bit different when they're crawling out of the ground. irritating because you're trying to sort of have a look at see what you're doing, and if you touch them, it knocks the light creature off you, and then they just sort of, you can't see where you're going. It's really annoying. Right, he's finally done. Right, so this is Deep Blue, who you basically use for most things to do with swimming in the game.
The cave started flooding while you were down the scary well, and now the door's blocked. But hey, your new warrior should be able to blast us out of here. Why not try it?
Deep blue. Deep blue.
Deep Blue is another one of the characters that's worth just doing all of the upgrades, including the spirit up, so he gets the longer spirit bar, just because he's got so many moves. His Slick Jet one, if you are Ash and then you quickly change to Deep Blue and use the Slick Jet move, he basically has oil come out of his jets, and because you've just been Ash, the oil comes out as fire. So that's kind of cool. And it's very, very handy when it comes to dispatching like multiple trolls. I will try and show it at some point. Just sort of show you his various skins. I think you do get a skin in the treasure cave, which I will try and show you later.
Okay, we're almost home and dry. If you like being dry, that is. The door is rigged up to the water wheel, and Deep Blue should be able to make it spin. So what are you waiting for?
This little water wheel she wants you to spin. It's pretty easy to do. You sort of aim with the right trigger rather than the left one. And that sort of goes the same with a lot of his moves, to be fair. It's sort of a lot more intricate. The left one's a bit of a clumsy aim. But yeah, we've got all the elemental warriors that we need now, and we can go straight on to the water temple to rescue Aunt Lenya next if you want to. But I'm going to try and get a couple of extra fruits first. We'll upgrade the purse, finally. And you can get a nice new look for Major Rune as well, which I do prefer the look that they give you there, to be fair, so I might try and grab that later. One of the first things I'm going to do now I've got Deep Blue is I'm going to go to the house right at the beginning that had the water trolls in it and destroy them, because I think, yeah, so the guy sort of stuck on the table there, he'll give me a fruit once I've destroyed them.
Whoa, you fought like a tornado, and it all seems to have calmed down in here. That's great. This is all I have to offer, but please take it.
Get the 3 pearls for the guy with the starfish in the middle of the map, because he will give you one. Also because his wife is basically guarding his house, and when she moves away, there's an elixir of life in it, so it is worth doing. It's so painful to get these pearls out of the water. You sort of have to move very, very slowly. As you see what I've just done there, you move too fast, you just whiz past it. So I'm not going to show you all 3 of the pearls, because I think that would be very mind-numbing if I did that. I've played this game so many times and I still can't do this in one smooth move. It's painful. So it's basically, you do this, and I'm just trying to think where the extra pearls are. So basically, one of the clams in the southern waters has a pearl, one of the clams in the eastern waters has a pearl, and one of the clams in the northeastern waters has a pearl. So yes, you only need 3 of them, and once you restore them to the guy with the little starfish, he will then give you a fruit. But I'm jumping in and out of the water because if you're lucky and you can sort of spray the pearl with the water jets rather than swimming, it moves so much faster. So I sort of keep changing in and out of deep blue. So I'm trying to just sort of spray it, because it's so clumsy when you try and swim and push something with him. And I've tried sort of shooting the bombs at him and it just doesn't work. So the best way to do it is to try and stand on any bit of dry land and push it along. So with the spray, not the slick as I've accidentally just done there. So there you go, I've just sort of skipped the ins and out. You can sort of see it in the pearl behind, the pearl in the starfish behind him. And he gives you a nice fruit. His wife moves away from the house. And if you go and visit his house, you will then find an elixir of life. Yeah, I did initially start filming sort of me collecting all 3 pearls, but I think it genuinely took me like an extra 10-15 minutes to get the extra 2 pearls on top of that one, and it was like, I can't put you through that. Okay, there is your elixir of life.
If you find any...
back of the list, and it looks like I've got most of them. So for number 7 and 8, they're both in the treasure cave. They're fairly easy to get. I will come back to. I'm just going to get rid of a couple of bugs. Basically, any of these palm trees, any of them that've got coconuts, always shoot the coconut because they're bound to contain fruit. So I don't think any of the ones around here have any. A quick look. But no.
See ya.
Right, so let's start the Water Temple section. First bit you sort of have to destroy the submarines. Later on you have to destroy ships sort of above the water, and then after that you will then have to destroy 2 ships and 2 submarines. And when it's that one, you then have to release basically all the little shells you've got in the water. Sort of, I don't really know what they're called, the sort of bombs attached to chains, I guess. And the boats almost always crash into them. You see those things I'm just sort of pointing at. But yeah, they are brilliant at dispatching the ships whilst you sort of focus on the submarines. Those flyers are so annoying. I was about to say I probably shouldn't be using pummel-weed because he's a grass type. So he'll probably go up in flames, would be a little bit awkward. Right, so easiest thing to do is just use deep blue and try and sort of push them into walls, etc., as that seems to kill them. So sort of easy enough. If you only put out their flames, it disarms them for a little bit, but then they can reignite, so just sort of make sure that you do finish the job. So he'll come back, he'll sort of create some more, run away again, and after you've got rid of this second bunch of fire trolls, he will then come back and sort of try and fight you. And what you have to do then is you have to extinguish him, so same method here, using deep blue. And then I usually like to use rubble to do it, to be fair. Doing the stone charge thing, so we hold down the left and right trigger and just aim at him. It's the quickest way to sort of dispatch him, because if you leave it too long, he'll just reignite and then he gets sort of more aggressive. See, at the moment he'll just be stunned. So change to rubble, quickly aim at him. So there you go. Now that water wheel's opened up, we just use deep blue to open up the next bit. if you're looking to ramp up your points, what I would suggest is if you turn into Ash, sort of stand in the middle here, quickly change to Deep Blue, and see if you just do Slick and turn around just using your right trigger, so you don't have to use the left one. Just keep going around and round in a circle. The trolls will just catch fire and they will all die. So it counts as carnages and brutals, so you get like the ultimate, points. If you run out, quickly do the same, change back to Ash, back to Deep Blue, sort of use your Slick, and sort of continue until either all the trolls are gone or you get bored. Usually when I play this, I do this until all the trolls are gone, but I think you might get a bit bored if you just sit there watching me go round and round in a circle. But yeah, that just sort of basically shows how it's done. So, back through the way we came, and back outside. Key to sort of try and avoid the bombs they're throwing at you. Try not to touch the boat because you do seem to get injured if you do that. Don't release any of the bombs that are floating in the water because you want to save that for the next round where you get the 2 ships. So it's much better to be able to kill 2 ships rather than just one. So try and avoid setting those off now. Well, I've accidentally set one off myself, but that was not deliberate. See, now that's opened up for me. I just need to basically go up there, a combination of Major Ruin, and I think I'm going to need Ash at the top. So I'm funny feeling there's going to be some trolls up there. Unless I can just sort of hit them off with... Now, to be fair, I think if I just sort of spray them over the edge with Deep Blue, that counts as a nice quick kill, and, minimum effort for me. There he goes. Just finish the job with him. Easy peasy. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of the next bit. There's another bit similar to this where you have to battle trolls at the top. And I think you do get some of your soldiers try and help you out, but they're more of a hindrance, I'm not going to lie.
Pummelweed.
So this is much the same as the run before, except this time you're going to have 2 fire trolls, so sort of double the trouble. To sort of follow same guidance as before, just basically extinguish all the mini fire trolls, and eventually the big ones will come back to fight, and you'll want to be using rubble to destroy them. Because the problem is, Pummelweed is, he doesn't do it as fast, and if you do end up with a little bit of fire on you, obviously as a grass type warrior, you're just going to go up in flames. stun him. And sort of keep hitting him with the rocks. See, because I've killed the last mini fire troll, now I've got both of them on my back, which is really annoying. So I'm just going to run away briefly. Sort of change back to the Eye of Restoration, because they've given me a little bit of a kicking. Annoyingly, why did they put grass type warriors or trolls with fire ones? Before you just have to spin the wheel and move on basically. Over this one you sort of move through the water temple. Oops, just dropped a load of bugs on myself. Yes, so this one you'll have some of your soldiers in the corridor. So it's always nice to sort of try and help them out as you move through. Although you can stay to fight the trolls like I suggested with the first room that we were in. So it is personal preference. Again, you can just sort of stand, turn around in a circle, get lots of points if you do this, just keep spinning. Drag pull, you'll take down the trolls, but you won't kill your soldiers, so if you want to save people, then that's the best move to use. Change back to the Eye of Spirit, because the Eye of Restoration, it slows down your spirit bar, which is really annoying. It's quite satisfying when you take down the archers, because they're quite irritating. Obviously I still have a bit of a squabble, so we'll just sort of finish the job with this one. So you just got to jump down into the next bit. You sort of had to smash the boxes there first. I think it might have glitched a bit. Right, so here is when you're going to get 2 ships and 2 submarines. First off, you want to release all of those like floating cannon bomb things underwater before you sort of try and kill either. Because it's so much easier to just focus on the submarines after that. But when you do shoot at them, aim at the chains, don't aim at the bombs at the top, because then they'll just explode. Right, there you go, that's one of them released. So just basically have a swim all round. If you get bored you can fire a couple of the submarines, but I would generally suggest releasing all of the bombs first. Be another one around here. Oh, there you go, there's 2. So yeah, make sure you aim for the chain, not the bomb. If you see a carnage pop up on your screen, you know that a boat's hit one. obviously once you're comfortable with all the bombs on the underwater have been released, just go after the submarines. The boats will end up driving into the bombs and they will blow up. You don't have to worry about them. A little impatient on me, just make sure you don't bump into the boats because that does hurt. Try and keep your head above the water because you do get a good aim that way. So if you sort of look to the bottom left of the screen, you sort of see the trolls drifting out. That tells you where the entrance is, which is very helpful. The usual, just got to use Major Ruin to work your way up here. Getting towards the end. Your primary aim is to save some of the soldiers, then do the drag pull move, where you just hold left and right triggers together. You can set fire to them, but you have to have a very good aim, because your soldiers aren't protected enough to do that. So just sort of finish him off. There's one left over there, so we'll just do a quick drag pull. And then after that we will go and fight Corrales, who is the demon that has Aunt Lenya. I'll make sure I've got full health for this, so he does help. Because obviously he's technically like a boss battle, in quotation marks.
This status page rounds up your
And I'll go back to having all the spirit. So with Corrales, you need to basically use Major Ruin to launch those pivotal explosive plant bomb things at him, or her, I don't really know. And then once you've done that, he'll then go underwater again, and you use Deep Blue to shoot each of those little glowing tentacly things, like the orbs at the end. So sort of, I'll show you how to do it. It makes more sense when you sort of see how I've done it. But yeah, basically keep flying round and round the room. Don't let yourself get near the electric things, because yeah, they will just electrocute you. The fact that the room starts flashing sort of indicates that he started trying to chase you around the room with them. So they're not in a very good place. You want them to be right next to him, so these ones over here are quite good. See my health zapping down, so I'm too close. But there you go, that's a very good spot. Yeah, the plant bombs themselves don't hurt him, but each of his tentacles has got 100 points or 100 health. So try and take down one side at a time. Just get out of the water now, you're not going to have time to tackle any of the others. And then just start flying around the room again. Yeah, the easiest approach is to try and take down one side at a time. So I've tried sort of tackling all four at once, and it's just a blind panic, it just doesn't work. see how he's sort of loitering near the left-hand one. So you'll want to ideally chuck one of these ones at him because you're going to have the best chance of it actually hitting him. Quickly turn back around. If you can take the damage and he's in a really good position, then yeah, it's probably worth it. Alright, so just try and hit these as quickly as you can. It helps to do it from a distance, weirdly. If you're too close, you don't get good aim at the rest of them. And because he sort of drifts about, then it can be tricky to get a good aim. So I should only have 1 or 2 hits left in it.
I have some information for you. Check for one.
Let's plant one straight at me. Bit inconvenient. So hopefully I just need to get him in the water one more time. Not this bridge, the next one looks ideal. And hopefully the next one will be the end of him. So yeah, you just take the hit if necessary. Just quickly. Oh, I've missed him. Where does he have to move? Right, again, that's now not a very good spot. I'm thinking maybe the next bridge. So for this level it's ideal to sort of have the Eye of Restoration on, just because he does hit you quite a lot. Oh, thankfully. And when you get in, always make sure you get in on the side of the tentacles that are left. Otherwise you end up sort of swimming around and you've lost precious time, and then he just gets back out of the water. But there you go, that's Paralysis all done. So that is the water temple beaten. So Lenya's going to give you a bit of a cutscene now, where she will then give you an elemental warrior,
You have always been
and it will
noble
look familiar to you.
and yet, I pity her. For I believe deep down inside she feels her actions are justified.
How could she possibly, in any way, think what she's doing is all right?
It was your mother's desire you never hear this. But I suppose now it's better you know. Thena only bore Solon one child, Callus. Though you are as much a daughter to her as any blood relation ever could be.
I don't understand what you're saying.
A miracle brought you to us, Kameo. Thena then adopted you as her own and raised you as such. Oh, your mother wanted your life to be perfect. And to shield you, she swore us all, including your sister, to secrecy. The attention Thena lavished on you bothered Callus, of course, but I think she always felt secure in the idea that when the time came...
That she, as Solon's rightful heir, would receive the transformation magic. I see, but I still don't understand. I never expected this power, and if I'd have known all this would happen, I'd have refused it.
No. Your mother was right to pass the power on to you. Callus has proven by her betrayal that she is not worthy of such a great responsibility. I know you care for your sister still, as do I. But sadly, she is lost to us. And you must do everything necessary to stop her. The fate of the realm rests firmly in your hands. And as a sign of my faith in your abilities, I present to you, Chilla.
Chilla.
I won't let you down. There are so many other questions I have.
I know, Angel, but now is not the time. I must recover, and you're needed elsewhere.
You're right, Aunt Lanya. Get some rest, and thanks for everything.
Kameo, can you hear me?
Well, well, well. You're turning out to be quite the fighter after all.
As Hallis always says, where there's a warrior, there's a way.
That's the attitude. And you'll need it. I've had visions of Thorn building yet more weapons of war. Can't quite make out what exactly, but they're bound to wreak untold havoc.
I'll fly over that bridge when the time comes. First, you must find Yeros. I refuse to let a single elemental sprite fall into Callus's traitorous hands.
Yes, he is the last who needs saving. Ice everywhere. And wait. Images of Yeros shivering inside the frigid walls of the Snow Temple, domain of the infinitely cold-hearted Queen Thyra. You must make haste to the village of the Snowtop tribe, as they have information that will help you reach the temple. Be swift.
So now we've got Chiller, that does mean that you can access the extra fruit that's sort of hanging in the trees. This, I believe, is the treasure cave. So you've got a water troll holding onto a piece of fruit in here.
Your progress so far.
And you have also got a side quest where you have to sort of basically rescue someone. But once you've rescued him, he also has a fruit in there. So I think you get 3 fruits. You get a deep blue extra skin, which is really nice. Trying to think if you get an elixir of life or not. But yes, it helps to go in there with the biggest purse that you can afford, because you do get sort of a nice little sum of money in there. Because you basically go and find a pirate's hidden treasure.
Hey!
Deep blue.
So he looks like the water troll that might have the fruit. I'll sort of do a quick drag pull, because then he doesn't have time to go invisible again. Nice free fruit for me there. I mean, because it's in water, it's really hard to see. Oh, there he is. You basically have to work your way through the whole cave. I hate those bugs. Anything bug related is just like you. So here's your side quest. She basically wants you to rescue her boyfriend.
Maybe you could help me? My boyfriend Mizu is trapped in this cave and I can't get to him. Would you free him for me?
just breaking as many crates as I can just to sort of get any extra coins, etc. Annoyingly, because sometimes you dip in and out of the water, you have to make sure you get them in a good position, because you can't just do a drag pull here. The water's too deep, so it's just easier to use someone like rubble or pummel-weed. The thing is, if you take too long to kill them, they just turn invisible again. It's really, really frustrating. Go for pummel-weed, because if I'm lucky enough, it will slow down time, she says. Oh, so I think I've managed to get rid of him, that's good. There we go. Finally got rid of them.
Major ruin.
Down here you have 4 eyes, where it's sort of much like the trees in the Forgotten Forest. You basically have to use rubble to blind them. There we go. And that frees the boyfriend.
You idiot!
Or so you thought.
I've been hiding out in here away from that obsessive brat. And now you've ruined everything. She won't leave me alone.
Yippee! You made me so happy. The least I can do is give you the special fruit I found. Go on, take it.
Major ruin.
Just gonna grab her fruit. Now he does also have a fruit behind his platform, so I just need to remember before I leave to look at the platform that has the sort of almost tentacly edge to it. But I will do that before I leave. Some more water trolls. I would definitely say these are probably among my most hated ones. Like, they're just annoying to kill. Right, so I've got to make sure Pummel-weed's ready. I think one of these might actually have an extra fruit as well. Might have been one with fruit in the port. I'm just getting rid of them more quickly. They're so annoying you can't hit them when they turn invisible. Oh yeah, see there he goes, got a fruit inside him. So on this level you get the fruit at the beginning, you get the fruit from the girlfriend, which is worth 3. You get the fruit from the guy hiding behind the, you know, the tentacly stand thing. So yeah, you get a few of them. Always helps to get rid of them all just because they're annoying. So here there's like a little hidden bit. And he's like, oh okay, this is like a hidden treasure chest bit. So that, I think there is a note in here somewhere where a pirate basically says, how have you found my treasure, but you're not going to find the rest. And then there's sort of like this giant pool in front of you and you're like, huh? So yeah, you just sort of have a look around this pool thing, open up all the clams if you can, just sort of get some hearts, maybe coins. Yeah, just follow the sort of port all the way through the hole, and you'll come to like an extra little bit which will have the rest of his treasure in it. And I think there's another note in here where he's annoyed. Oh, there it is. But it's always nice to sort of get a bit of extra money. And there's the extra deep blue skin. Which is not bad, to be honest, it's quite colourful.
Deep blue.
Got to make sure he's equipped in his fancy new skin. Now I need to remember to look for where that Mizu guy was hiding out. Because right at the end I think he's got fruits. There's a tentacly bit. I knew it, there it is. Yeah, it's definitely worth doing the treasure cave bit. It's sort of like a side quest. And I think that's everything you can get in the cave.
Pardon?
Welcome to the legendary...
Now I can afford the fancy, the biggest money pack, which is helpful. So that means there's, I think it's a cap of 999 or something on the amount of coins you can get, so that is very helpful. And I've bought him the fancy new skin, which is a lot nicer than the other ones, I think.
Okay.
To be fair, I did say I would show you where the extra 2 fruits are on the trees, didn't I? So I have a funny feeling there's one near the shop on the sort of top of my memory. It's basically you've got to look at every single palm tree and see which ones looks like it's got like a coconut hanging out of it. They will sort of start with the ones sort of to the right of the shop and work way around the island. Because it should only be 2 trees that have it. There's one near here, I think, and there's one, I think, where the father teaching his son to swim.
Okay.
What's that over there? No need to be so polite. You can't trust the road.
It is frustrating when you're sort of trying to look in the semi-dark. Imagine it's coming up soon. Because it's sort of hidden quite well, it's really annoying. So So have a look at the next bunch of trees. Now the sun's actually come back out. So I know there's one near here. I think that's what's annoying me. If I just double check the newsletter. So I've got that one, I've got that one. Yeah, it's saying look up in the branches. I know that there's a coconut that turns into a fruit. You should check those trees as well, really. We found that. That's the one that was inside the lobster cage. And we've got all those. So it's just the ones in the trees that are left. It's impossible to do it at night, so it's just better to wait for it to be day. You see like a small green coconutty shape, and basically that, if you shoot that with chiller, turns into an elemental fruit. Just me blindly shooting at a tree because I'm a bit annoyed now. I know there's one near here. I think that's the frustrating thing.
Are you responsible for helping my husband? If so, the art community owes you a debt for helping one of its greatest talents.
Oh, I think I finally found it. So you see that thing hanging just there? There we go, it's a fruit. Finally. Funny feeling one of these trees also has some little coconutty sort of things. Oh, there you go, it's up there. And there's the second fruit. Yeah, they are frustrating, but it is nice to know that you've sort of collected everyone on the level. Right, okay. Now back out to the Badlands, where we will round off the level with defending the Shrine of Light.
Thorns nothing if not persistent. Our soldiers won't last long against that warship without our help. Get over to the elemental shrine and light the cannons to sink that floating monstrosity.
Basically what you have to do here is the soldiers will try and sort of twiddle the cannons around for you, but whilst they're doing that the trolls will attack them, so if you can, try and destroy the trolls before they kill the soldiers. I find that sort of a well-placed Inferno from Ash is the best way to deal with it, because I think the other warriors, they're just not fast enough. There you go, so that one's done. So I think there's around 5 or 6 cannons you have to do this with. So it's very much like that, and then it's rinse and repeat, move on to the next one. But you can see they're starting to twiddle already over there. if there's sort of so many trolls, it can help to use something like Deep Blue's drag pull, just to thin it out a bit. See, that one has just been killed. That's annoying. But generally, soldiers do try and run over to basically finish off the job. I've accidentally killed him. That wasn't very clever. But yeah, it's sort of, soldiers do help you sort of as much as they can with this build, which is kind of nice. And I think it moves faster if you've got 2 people doing it rather than just 1. So I'm going to take off this guy with rubble. So I'll do stone charge whilst pointing the left trigger at him. That will basically get rid of him, which is a nice sort of thing for the soldiers, because then they're not having to fight so hard. And I should probably go back to defending one of the cannons. Normally sort of the biggest sign is that you see trolls start to swarm around it, trying to stop the soldiers from spinning. That's normally where you should be headed. So that one is now ready. I don't think how many cannons we've got left now. There's still a few. At some point I'm going to start getting lectured by Ortho from the book. But yeah, don't worry, you're not going to be at any risk of the shrine taking too much damage. As long as you keep doing this rinse repeat, defend the soldiers trying to do the work. That's twiddle. There you go. You can light that and use it to blow up another ship. be coming to the end of this now. think this may be the last cannon. I mean, if the soldiers actually manage to get it down. Can't be too far off. There we
If you
go.
need help protecting the elemental shrine, then talk with me through the Whatnot book. Time is of the essence.
So hopefully that cannon should sink the ship. Hoping this will trigger a cutscene. There it is. And I think after this bit you will see that mystery knight again, who people believe to be King Solon. But, yeah, if you enjoyed the video, leave me a like, subscribe, and I'd love to hear what you think. Alright, see you next time. Bye.
Ha! Another triumph for the forces of good. We don't have time to stand around gloating, however. The Snowtop village is marked on your map, so let's get a move on.